Not too long ago, most SUVs sold in India were powered by diesel engines. Now though, the trend is changing. Take this, the MG Hector as an example, whose petrol variants comprise of nearly 50% of its total sales. And a good chunk of those numbers are formed by the automatic variants. We've driven the diesel manual and the petrol hybrid manual version at the media drive, and ever since then we received a ton of requests for the petrol automatic version. We finally managed to get our hands on one. Is this the version to buy? Stick around to find out. The focus of this video will be the petrol engine and the automatic transmission. What you should know is that this is a non-hybrid version of the 1.5 litre turbo petrol engine, and this automatic is a 6-speed dual clutch transmission. Refinement levels are very nice and engine sound is really low, so while cruising or while idling you can barely hear the engine. What's also nice is that ambient noises are kept outside, which adds to the whole premium experience of this cabin. You can hear this motor when it is spun beyond 5000 rpm. Still, it doesn't lose its refined character. This 1.5 litre turbo petrol engine delivers its power in a very linear manner. Between 1800 and 4000 rpm is this engine's sweet spot. Stay in it and it'll do its job just fine. Now this is not the slickest or the quickest shifting units out there. It is a lazy unit and it does its job in a nice and relaxed manner. So it'll upshift to a higher gear as soon as possible. But when it comes to downshifts, it is not the one which will downshift at the slightest flex of your right foot. In fact, you need to put your foot flat for it to downshift and build speed. Under most scenarios, the gearbox shifts seamlessly. It's just that sometimes when you're slowing down in traffic or when you get off and on the throttle, it can get a bit confused, and because of that, it can feel a bit jerky. Outright acceleration isn't all that impressive, and the timings are amongst the slowest in its class. One important thing to note is that when you're cruising at 100 km per hour, the engine is spinning at 2300 rpm in 6th gear and 2600 rpm in the 5th gear. Now what that means is, even when you're driving in a relaxed manner, you're cruising on the highway, the engine is working a lot harder for you, and that will translate into higher fuel consumption. Here's a look at the petrol automatic's fuel economy. Among other changes, this petrol automatic also gets this auto hold function. Now what this does is, you can lift your leg off the brake and remain in drive gear and the car will still not move. So it's a very convenient feature at a traffic light. The good news is that the progress after pressing the throttle is really smooth, so it doesn't leap forward like in some other cars. And that's really nice. And when it comes to ride quality, the MG feels very comfortable and its suspension cushions you from road shocks from the worst of road surfaces. In terms of handling, now there's no feel or feedback from the steering, body roll is high, and because of the narrow tires, it understeers quite a bit when pushed harder. So this isn't a car that will please driving enthusiasts. But what nearly everyone will appreciate is its light steering, which makes driving and parking this large SUV a breeze, and so do all the parking aids on offer. MG has made this DCT available only in the top 2 variants, so it comes fully loaded with kit like a panoramic sunroof, the massive touchscreen with SIM-based connectivity features, a 360-degree camera, diamond cut wheels, and a lot more. So then, should you buy the MG Hector Petrol Automatic? Now let's address the first half of the question. MG has covered the basics rather well with the Hector. It has solid road presence. The interiors have the wow effect. It's loaded with features. The cabin is spacious and practical. And when it comes to value for money, this car ranks high up there. Now MG is expanding its dealer network by the day, and with solid service and warranty packages, the Hector is a really compelling buy. And now coming to the second part of the question, should you buy the petrol automatic? Now the petrol is smooth and refined, and the automatic is just about okay. It's convenient, but it's a bit slow to respond. And then fuel economy isn't going to be too great for this large SUV. So if it's the Hector you're looking at, the diesel probably makes the more sense because it's a more rounded performer. Unfortunately, it doesn't come with an automatic option just yet.